Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my friend. This video is on hope is not a strategy. Mars transit to Virgo. Let us do the mantras first. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Vyam Ved Vyasaya Namah Om Gurve Namah. We're all set to get into the video now. Mars transit to Virgo. Well, the idea came to my mind recently when I was watching this movie F1. What a fabulous movie, right? Brad Pitt, Sunny Hayes. And when Sunny Hayes says in the movie, if you happen to watch the movie, hope is not a strategy. That really struck my mind. See, I always relate Jyotish with hope. Jyotish gives us hope. But shall we just rely on the hope? Absolutely not. So we should take help from astrology by getting visibility, what is coming up down the line, right? If we are passing through something not so great, we can take some respite from Jyotish with the visibility, with the knowledge of the unknown future. But that doesn't mean that we should stop. We should keep pushing harder. Actions must never stop. And that's exactly Sunny Hayes says in that F1 movie, hope is not a strategy. Anything else, Professor? Drive fast. That's what he says next. So let's drive fast. And that's what prompted me to think, okay, yes. I was watching that F1 movie, right? Very, very high octane, high speed cars. And is it about the speed? Speed is basically by moon. The moon is about longevity. It is not about the violence, the bloodbath, explosion and all. No. Is it about Mercury, the speed and the sporting event, F1, Formula race? See, it is not a child's play. Mercury is too young, so it's not a child. You need that kind of attitude, that maturity, like which Sunny has brought back after 20 odd years. He came back to the race. Remember, initially he was like a Mercury person, and then he came back. It is about action. It is about adventure. It is about assertiveness. This is about the maturity. This is about the logic, the tactics, the strategy. And that's where Mars comes into play. So I thought, why not make a video on the transit of Mars? Throughout the movie, I kept thinking as if I am looking at the transit of Mars, along with Venus. It's not the Venus which you are thinking for a moment. It's the other Venus. F1 car, the high-end cars, the luxurious, not in the luxurious segment, but high on technology, the pinnacle of technology. It sets the adrenaline flowing right through the beginning. The lethal combo of Mars and Venus. What is the day? Today is Tuesday, Mars, the 15th of July. 1 plus 5, 6 is Venus. Again, the lethal combo of Mars and Venus. One of the good days to put up this video of transit of Mars to Virgo. All right? Okay. So, what's the strategy? How's the mood actually of Mars? When Mars is getting into the sign Virgo, how is the mood of Mars? First of all, very first thing, Mars gets debilitated in the sign Cancer. You know that? And Mars gets exalted in the sign Capricorn. When Mars comes out of Cancer and it starts progressing towards Capricorn, is it not like when moon comes out of new moon like Amavasya and starts progressing towards Purnima or Shuk, right? Full moon? It passes through Shukla Paksh Pratipada to Shukla Paksh Chaturdashi and reaches to Purnima, Shukla Paksh 15th Tithi. Likewise, every planet, when it comes out of its debilitation sign, like Mars when it came out of Cancer, it entered Leo, right? It is currently in Leo, right? And basically, 28th of July, it will move on to Virgo. It will stay there till 13th of September, 47 days of transit. So when it came out to Leo, it started to getting power. Because now it thought, I am going to my exaltation sign after crossing 5 signs. Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and I'll get into my exaltation sign. So 5 signs are in the middle from Cancer to Capricorn. Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio and Sagittarius. So let us say there is 100% of energy. And every sign gives us 20% of energies. It gets charged up. So in Leo, it was charged by 20% energy. When it going to Virgo, it will have 40% of energy. Right? Likewise, when it reaches up to Scorpio or Sagittarius, it will have 20 into 5, 100% of energy. So it means when it gets into Capricorn, what? Capricorn is exaltation. 28 degrees is precise exaltation, but Capricorn is exaltation. That energy is out of the box. It is boom. That explosion, you associate Mars with explosion, that is out of the roof. Much more than 100%. Exaltation is much more than the optimum power. 100% is the optimum power. So, how's the mood? Mars getting into Virgo, it is going to get about 40% of its energy. It is gaining energy. It is like it is progressing on the Shukl Paksh journey. You understand? So, it is a good thing. It is a very good thing. Point number 1. Now, let us evaluate some other factors. I'll evaluate few factors, right? Few. Very, very basic few factors. The other factor is, how is the relationship between Mars and the Lord of Virgo, Mercury? See, Mercury considers Mars as neutral, but Mars considers Mercury as enemy. So the relationship is not very congenial. Mars is a bit struggling. No, I'm not feeling that happy. So that mood is kind of getting some sort of hit. While the energy was getting up to 40%, the mood is some sort of taking a hit, right? Now, the other lord of Virgo has 2 lords, Mercury and Rahu. Rahu does Kujastambhana on Mars. It further tries to subdue Mars. So Mars feels like in a state of confusion. What's happening? No, I'm not feeling that good about it by getting into Virgo. All right, let us look further. Let us evaluate the next step in terms of guna. Mars is tamas guna. There are 3 gunas, rajas, sattva, and tamas. Mercury is rajas guna. So Mercury is all about rajas, resources. Even sign Virgo is about resources, collecting resources. Not only food, but all kind of resources, monetary and non-monetary resources, so to say. Mars is a soldier. I mean, he has nothing to do with this kind of thought process. He is more concerned about the security and safety of the territory. So the objective of that guna, tamas and rajas guna, are not in synchronization. It pulls or kind of pushes Mars to take a backseat further. The guna level, it is not being matching. Right, let us move forward. Let us look at the tattva. Mars is Agni tattva. And Mercury, the lord of sign Virgo, is Prithvi tattva. Agni is all about the aggression, F1, that power-packed action. Whereas Prithvi is all about, again, resources, collecting and collating resources. Thinking about yourself first and your family and near and dear ones. Mars is more broader, thinking about the safety of at a lot broader level. The tattva level is also, there is no synchronization. It is not anti. So Agni and Prithvi are not, it's not like Agni and water, which is like Gandanta. It is not that severe, but still, it is not that, complementing. Rahu is Vayu tattva, that accentuates Agni. That is slightly in sync. But then Rahu is doing Kujastambhana. So it is not a very, very easy and congenial situation for Mars to get into Virgo. Right, let's move forward. Now, so what is Mars thinking? Basically, Mars, when it is getting its horn linked up with the Mercury specifically, because there is a prime lord of Virgo sign, it feels like a soldier who has come to a hermit. Is the soldier retired? That commander-in-chief, Mars? No, commander-in-chief is not yet retired. It is rather looking forward to progress further and get into the sign Capricorn and feel exalted. Why are you pushing him to behave like a retired person? No. So Mars is not that congenial, not that happy state of mind. Okay, further evaluate. So how about the nakshatras, subtle level? How is the internal, that subconscious or supraconscious level? When Mars gets into the sign Virgo, the first nakshatra is the nakshatra lauded by Sun, Uttar Falguni, 3 pada. It will traverse 2nd, 3rd and 4th pada, Sun. And Mars and Sun are mutually friends. Great. We found something great. But we have still to evaluate the other 2 nakshatras. After Uttar Falguni, we reach up to Hasta nakshatra lauded by Moon. While Moon doesn't consider anybody its enemy, and Mars considers Moon as its friend, that's fantastic. Fantastic. How about the third nakshatra? Chitra nakshatra. Two padas Mars has to undergo for Chitra nakshatra also in the sign Virgo. Oh, that nakshatra is lorded by Mars itself. Fantastic. I mean, all the three nakshatra lords, Uttar Falguni and Hasta and Chitra, respectively lorded by Sun, Moon and Mars, are in absolute harmony with Mars. So that's the thing I wanted to find out. So all the confusion and all, it actually no longer be there. So the commander-in-chief will be back to the sublime form. It will feel again great because at the subtle level, the nakshatra are supporting the journey. And we started evaluating from the first factor, whereas Mars was about to gain the energy from 20% to about 40%, like it is transgressing into Shukla Paksh, that bright half. On top of it, the nakshatra, the internal connotation, internal feeling is also supportive. It's a great thing for Mars to be into Virgo. Right? Let's move our journey on the Formula 1. Hope is not a strategy. Let's take actions. Drive fast. Okay. So, as you know, the duration is about 47 days, right, of this entire transit. So, 28th of July, it will start, and 13th of September, it will end, when Mars will enter into Libra. Okay. Let us get into the ascendants. The first ascendant, Aries ascendant. So, what's the strategy? If hope is not a strategy, there has to be some strategy. And for every ascendant, let us try to find out the strategy which Mars is telling every ascendant what we should follow. We have to have some insight from Jyotish, and then we'll take action that will be a meaningful action. So for Aries ascendant, my friend, your strategy has to be around physical fitness. That's where Mars transit is going to give you the best support. This is a very good time. Even otherwise, Aries ascendant people are generally very focused on physical fitness, generally. But now Mars is going to give you very, very good platform. And this is also another indication that when Mars is supporting some activity in your life, if you actually build onto that activity, then Mars will be pleased with you. Then it will give you other good features also. So that's where you have to actually make use of this strategy in a real sense. Physical activity is something where you have to activate your sports mode. Like if you're driving a Fortuner, you have to activate from economy to power to eco mode to power to sports mode. So that's where you need to activate your sports mode. Right? All right. Now, if you realize your Lagna Lord, Aries Lagna Lord is in Virgo 6th house, so Dhimanta Yoga is also an activation for you. It will give you intelligence, and more important than intelligence, it will actually translate, or the intelligence will get manifested into the decision-making power for you. That's much more important and real. And that physical fitness thing, I'm coming back to that again, because when you keep your body active, automatically your mind starts to get recharged. It will take certain nice decisions, and that gets in synchronization with your Dhimanta Yoga. So your physical fitness and your mental fitness are going to work in harmony. That is the real meaning of Mars transit to Virgo for you at a strategic level. Okay, we'll move forward and see a couple of other subtle aspects as well. What is the kind of challenge which I foresee? Because it is about Mars transit. Mars is a natural malefic planet. There has to be some challenges coming through, and we need to identify the specific area so that we can tackle in a different ways. For you, the challenge is in the area of relationships. Very specific. You will find that relationships are taking a real backseat. Real backseat. It will not be easy for you to maintain the relation, that harmony, because Mars itself is not very congenial for relationships, right? It doesn't increase or support physical intimacy in the first place. Then when you're speak to somebody you like or you love in a nice way, doesn't let you speak to that person in nice and easy and poetic way. It is not Moon and Mercury. It is Mars, for God's sake. So, and see, it is not easy. It is not easy. So, testing time. I'll also help you with the testing time in terms of relationship. Specifically during the second week of August and first week of September. That is the testing time for you. You need to avoid, trying to resolve issue during that period. These are not going to be resolved. Rather, if you want to reach to a resolution, I'll tell you a very, very excellent time, great time to make the relationship smoothened. And that time is first week of August and second week of September. Okay, take action during this time to resolve things from relationship perspective. Okay, now the interesting thing, for you the Vipareet Raj Yoga is going to be activated because 8th Lord Mars is also in 6th house. 6, 8, 12, when they are in kind of sync or associated, then it is a Vipareet Raj Yoga. But because it is Mars, if you want to gain monetarily out of Vipareet Raj Yoga generally support monetary aspect, not the spiritual aspect. But because it is malefic planet causing this yoga, I have posted a video how to make more money. Purely Vedic ways of activating your money-making energies. Kindly use that Vedic ways. That will cut through this Vipareet Raj Yoga malefic aspect and help you activate the Vipareet Raj Yoga and make more money. Vedic ways. Alright? Let's move forward. And also, if you see from Virgo, Mars will be aspecting 8th aspect. Or 4th aspect rather. I'll not even bother about 8th aspect. I am bothered about 4th aspect more because that is your 9th house Sagittarius. So, because if your house of fortune is getting aspected by a malefic planet, though it is your Lagna Lord, 9th house, I don't want any malefic aspect at all. Simple. You need to do a remedy. You need to worship Divine Mother. If you do that, this will settle down amicably. Alright, so this was for Aries ascendant. Now let's move to Taurus ascendant. So what's the strategy? If hope is not a strategy, where do you need to take actions? What's the strategy? For you, my Taurus friend, your strategy, the area which Mars is favoring you is rather the relationship. That is very, very peculiar. And generally, Mars is not a planet which kind of supports or supportive of relationship in a very simple, plain language. But for you this time, it is in your support. That is very, very strange. But that's the thing. That is the beauty. If you are aware about this subtle aspect of Mars support, then you can revolve your strategy around relationships. Right? In a very, very nice way. But it is Mars. It will not let it that nice. You're aware about that. So, some sort of romantic affairs will start to get bloom. There will be blooming of some romantic association, some romantic relationship. But as I mentioned, it is Mars. It is not going to be straightforward. There will be some violence associated in terms of verbal exchange of words, or there can be some sort of physical aggravation as well at different points in time. It is Mars. It is supportive, but it will have its color as well. So you have to think about how best you can manage your strategy so that you are away from the troublesome aspects of Mars. We'll see. We'll find out very soon. The testing time for the relationship is specifically during second week of August and first week of September. So avoid any kind of physical intimacy during that period, specific physical intimacy. Otherwise, that can be a very violent experience. Not that amicable, not that pleasurable experience. Can be a slightly painful experience. Excellent time for a relationship would be first week of August and second week of September. Absolutely fantastic. Now, this is the beauty. You can utilize the strategic power in your favor, be it physical intimacy, be it harmonious relationships. Use the strategical support given by Mars. Okay. Now, remedy for relationship. I'll say, if you want to do away from the violent aspect of Mars and have a natural, nice experience with your partner, which should flow to other aspects of life, because the strategy is not only to maintain relationship. The effect of this strategy should flow to other aspects of life as well. I'll tell you a secret. Very good secret. When you meet your partner, even if it is the partner is your spouse, you're going home, whenever you're meeting, I want you to gift something to your partner. Gift a plant. Not flower, plant. Small plant, and see the magic. See the magic for yourself. And why I am calling or talking about gift to be very specific? Because the planetary combinations are such, you are going to spend money on your partner by giving her or him some gifts. And when I know you're going to give some gift to your partner, then I can advise you, give a plant in gift. All right? Good. Now, remember, Mars for Taurus Lagna is 7th Lord. It is Marak. 2nd Lord and 7th Lord are Marak. And it is another Marak for you, 7th Lord. Again, in terms of relationship, 7th house is about relationship. That aspect is also there, right? So to avoid that, you have to deactivate. If you look at Bhavat Bhavat, let's say, 7th house, Marak 7th from 7th is 1st house. Why not to activate your physical fitness and kind of cut through this Marak aspect? One of the very subtle ways. All right, enough of the hint. Okay, now I will give you another recommendation. Avoid any major decisions related to the properties. That can backfire. During Mars transit, do not take any important decisions. You wanted to sell a property? Hold on to it. You want to buy a property? Keep doing the research work. Don't sign out the papers. Don't close the deal during this transit. All right? It can backfire. Let me tell you clearly. Okay. Now, if properties are backfire, does that mean finance can also take hit? There can be a possibility. There's no direct correlation, but because the property is also associated with finance, we have to think wide. So that's where, if you want to get into some Vedic ways to safeguard your finances, I'll recommend you to go and watch my video on how to make money. I recently posted the video. Purely Vedic ways to activate the energies in your favor to make more money. But the Vedic remedies come to only those people who are meant to receive it. As you know. All right. And you also need to do a remedy which is important for you to go through this period of Maraka activation. You need to worship Shiva during this period in whatever way you like. Just worship Lord Shiva. All right. That was about Taurus ascendant. Let's move to Gemini. Mars transit to Virgo. So what's your strategy? If hope is not a strategy, so you need to activate your sports mode on in the area of your wallet. Can I simplify? Sure. You will realize that Mars is giving you that edge in the area of finances that you will feel that yes, money speaks. Money makes things done. Money has the power to get things done. Your wallet is going to be filled with money. You will be cash abundant. That aspect of your life is going to get strengthened by the transit of Mars. That's your area. That's your strategy. But then you need to also ensure Mars being Mars, it is helping you in the area of your finances. Agree. Mars still is a natural malefic. We cannot avoid that. Therefore, you need to safeguard yourself with some Vedic stuff, Vedic energies activation. To that extent, if you're meant to receive it, only then you will go and listen to or watch that video which I posted recently on how to make more money. It is about the Vedic activation of finances, and that will get directly in synchronization with your strategic roadmap given by Mars. Right? Okay, let's move forward. Now, in terms of work, you need to understand how you work. See, you need to also keep in mind, this is a strategy which you understood that your wallet will have some words. Your wallet, you have got the money power. So you have to use that money power in different areas of your life in a very, very nice way. You should not be arrogant, or you should not use it arbitrarily or against somebody's emotions in the area of relationship as an example. You should use it judicially, and that's how you are able to cut through. This is also another subtle remedies. You are using the power, but judicially, then you are not being malefic yourself. Remember, because your Mars is also Dighina, being in the 4th house from Gemini Lagna. It is in Virgo, Dighina. So in work area, you will feel, you're not having that kind of strength, and that's where somewhere you need to use this money power. I'm not talking about the positional power for you. The strategy which Mars is giving you is money power. Remember, got it? Okay. So what is the other thing we can learn from this? When you know that you have got the support of money power, if you're in business and you're feeling a Dighina impact, you can invest. You know that yes, money is going to support you through the transit of Mars. If you invest, you're going to get benefit out of it. As simple as that. So investment can be good for you in business. Right? Wherever money is involved, you should take it that this is going to be your topmost strategy. Actions are important. Hope is not a strategy. Remember? All right. So specifically in terms of work, because the Dighina impact will be there prominently, how to cut through that? I'll give you very simple timelines. Testing time in terms of work will be second week of August. So in second week of August specifically, do not invest at all. Just avoid. Do not take major decisions when it comes to work. You will feel the real malefic aspect of Mars. So what is the good time? We should also know that, right? Let me tell you that as well. The excellent time is second half of August, not second week. That was to be avoided. Second half of August and also the first half of September. Excellent, excellent. Go for it. That is the time to invest, to use that power of money as a strategy. One recommendation for you, work from home can give you good money. It can accentuate your financial prospects. That's a good thing to know. If you get an option to choose between working from home or getting into a physical boundary of office place, you always prefer work from home if that's possible. All right. Now, in terms of relationship, one simple thing is when Mars is in your fourth house, that brings some sort of Mangalic energies activation. That activation, that aspect will be there. Even in transit also you will feel that. All right. So it will also have its color on the relationship aspect of your life. So the testing times for the relationship, the timeline I'm also giving you, second week of August and first week of September is the testing time for relationship, where the Mangalic effect will be on the high and you have to manage your energies really well. And the excellent time for relationship, that will be first week of August and second week of September. That's the period when you are able to calm down your energies and get into some good congenial relationships. Okay. Now recommendation. For you, you are not supposed to get into any major properties related decisions during the Mars transit. This Mars transit is not congenial for you to get into invest, purchase, buy, sell, all sort of property related decisions. Just put a hold onto that. Okay. Now the challenge which I can foresee, because you are undergoing all this money making strategy and all these things, enthusiasm may take a backseat. You have the money power, that wallet power you have, but the other power of Mars, which is more action oriented, we cannot rely only on hope. Hope is not a strategy. That that aggressiveness, that go getting kind of thing, that you may find kind of deprived of. How to activate that? Very simple thing I'll tell you. Please worship Krishna. And that is also in synchronization with Vedic remedy for money making. That has a separate subtle indications. When you go there and watch it, you'll get to know. But for you, Krishna holds the key in all the directions. All right, so best wishes. That was for Gemini ascendant. Let's move to Cancer ascendant. So my Cancer friend, what's the strategy? If hope is not a strategy, what is your strategy? Where do you need to activate your sports mode? So my friend, for you, it is the area of work. Yes, Mars is going to support you in your work, and that is going to be your pivotal strategy. You're going to use your work success in different aspects of your life. When something is going to be your strategy, you will put that aspect of your life at a center stage, and then let the other areas of your life revolve around that. Like a wheel, that is the base of your wheel, the center spot, the sweet spot of your wheel. It will make your wheel run smooth and calmly and sharp. Okay? All right. So, but remember, Mars, for my Cancer ascendant friend, Mars is in Virgo. So it is going to aspect your 10th house, Aries. There will be some fire associated with your work. It's a malefic planet. I'll tell you the timeline when you are going to be tested in your work sphere. So the testing time would be in the second week of August. So during that period, Do not get into any confrontation with your supervisor, with your colleagues, junior or senior, whomsoever you are in touch with your clients, with your partners, with your associates, with your third party people, with your support staff, with your chauffeur, with your servants, help, home help, whosoever is related to your work. You should not get into any confrontation during this period. Period. And what is the excellent time? That will be second half of August and first half of September. That is the time you can get into a very good equation with all such people at work front. All right. Okay. How about the relationship? Well, let me tell you a very, very interesting thing. When it comes to your relationship with your brothers and sisters, it will be great, but I'll qualify with elder brothers and sisters. All right. I have qualified with your elder brothers and sisters. You're going to have a very nice equation. Now, one very big caution to you, my Cancer ascendant friend. Extremely important caution. Mars has a lot of significations. One of the significations comes on the malefic side, that it can actually make you astray. It can give you some logics that you may feel like betraying somebody. I'm trying to be as blunt as possible because it is my responsibility. You may feel like betraying somebody, giving some logic or the other. Mars is giving you that logic. Let me tell you, think through. Use your heart as well and think calmly. Use your judgment and decision. This will make you repent for a very long time. So do not get swayed by the tactics of false logic of Mars. Do not get into that footprint. Okay? All right. What will be the testing time in the area of relationship specifically? It will be second week of August and first week of September. Be very, very careful. All right. An excellent time for relationship, first week of August and second week of September. Try to make the best possible use of this time. Try to amend if something has already happened. Try to amend that and give respite. Otherwise, things will not be calm at your heart. Internally, you will feel the heat. All right. Now, challenge. So, because Mars is a natural malefic, there has to be some. At a strategic level, it is going to support you in work area, but it is also going to cause some sort of challenges. And that's coming to you in the area of your money. You will feel the heat. You will feel the heat, and it will also prompt you not to spend unnecessarily at all. Rather, it can also prompt you not to spend. You got it? All right. So if you really want to get out of this false notion and want to get good support for you in terms of money in the Vedic ways, purely Vedic ways, then you can go and watch my video I put just a couple of days back, how to make more money. It is about activation of energy, that energy activation which can give you more money in the Vedic ways. But such Vedic remedies reach to only a handful of people who are meant to receive it. That's the dictum. All right. So that was about Cancer ascendant. Let us move to Leo ascendant. So what's the strategy? If hope is not a strategy, which area of your life you need to activate your sports mode on? That's the area of education for you. And more specifically, because one of the significations of Mars is also Jyotish, along with palmistry, along with black magic. It has different colors. It is Mars being Mars. I'll look at the Sattvic and Vedic things first, rather than going into, tantric aspects of Mars or the black magic side of Mars. Jyotish. So if you are into Jyotish, fantastic time. Otherwise also, education, because the area which Mars is supporting as a strategic decision, you are going to use this as a strategy which will revolve around all aspects of your life. So you are going to use your education, your knowledge to earn money. That's a very subtle hint. Because this knowledge is going to be a pivotal point. And if you are into astrology or any such aspect of life which you are willing to start at a commercial platform, commercial level. This is the time. This is the time. Very, very good time. Because Mars is supporting. Remember that. This aspect of your life specifically. Okay. Now, we'll go slightly deeper and to understand the timeline and all. At a challenge, because Mars is also a malefic. We have to remember that. It is a natural malefic. So, physical health is an area which can take a backseat for you. And more so because, see, you are going to put your entire energy in activating your knowledge and, that aspect of mental level. So, at that juncture, your physical level can take a backseat. Right? So, that is an area of life you need to be very, very vigilant about. So that you're at a physical level also, you are feeling happy and energetic, because that will contribute eventually to your mental capabilities. Being physical fit is very, very important. So that is a kind of challenge for you. All right. So what's shining for you, my friend, for Leo ascendant friend? See, you are going to get a lot of luxuries. Even when, for example, you are studying, let's say astrology or Jyotish or any other thing, you will have a nice setup. Good table chair, some nice lamp, somebody will be there to give you good food at different intervals, or you will arrange for it yourself. I mean, you will ensure that setup is nice and amicable. That is the thing you're going to get during this transit of Mars. How interesting. Okay. Now, interestingly, for Leo Lagna friends, for you, Mars is Badhakesh. So it will have its own color. When you are using this knowledge aspect to earn money, or using this as a strategy in different aspects of life, this Badhak energy will also be activated. Now, how to cater to that? Before that, let me tell you the timeline. So you'll be tested in your work area because of the Badhak energy specifically during the time of second week of August. So avoid any major meetings, interaction, decisions during that period. And what is the excellent time? That will be second half of August till first half of September. Just go full throttle. Make much more money. Make much more deals. Make use of your knowledge as much as possible. Be commercial. All right? But if you also like to incorporate the Vedic ways of activation of money making, kindly go and watch the video which I put recently on how to make more money. But remember, that is purely Vedic remedial ways, and those come to people who are meant to receive it. That is absolutely first fundamental principle of Vedic remedies. All right. Now, in terms of relationship, see, you will like to ignite the fire of relationships. But Mars will rather force you to get into or stick to one relationship. There will be such situations, such conflicts coming your way. All right. So I'll tell you some timeline to manage it better. So what is the testing time for relationships? There will be second week of August and first week of September. So during this period, avoid getting into such conflict of relationship. Stay yourself safe and away. And what is the excellent time of relationship? First week of August and second week of September. Now, that is the time when you can experience and make best possible use of this aspect of your life. All right. So this was for Leo ascendant. Let's move to Virgo ascendant. So my friend, what's your strategy? If hope is not a strategy, which area of your life you need to activate your sports mode? That's the area of changes. One of the fundamental changes is also Jyotish. So if you are interested in learning Jyotish, watching Jyotish channels, on YouTube or other platforms, you yourself are a practitioner astrologer. Wonderful time. So any changes which you like to bring to your life, this is a fantastic period. Specifically in the area of learning, knowledge, in the area of spirituality, Mars is going to support you big time. And this is going to be your strategy around which you are going to revolve your life, putting this as a central spot. And also, my friend, my Virgo friend, remember Mars will be transiting to your Lagna. It is going to give you a lot of energy. It is also your third lord in Lagna. So efforts will also be there. You are going to put a lot of efforts in money making. Okay. Now the thing is, Mars is a malefic planet. It is not your Lagna lord, rather it is your 8th lord. While it is bringing changes to your life, but it is a malefic planet. If you want to ensure that changes, be it Jyotish, education, learning, knowledge, using it as a strategy, you want to have some material advantage in terms of money making, you need to incorporate some Vedic ways into your life. You can go and watch a video which I put recently, how to make more money. Very, very Vedic ways to activate those energies which will give you more money. But remember, such Vedic remedies reach to a handful of people who are meant to receive it. I always call it out. All right? Okay, move forward. Now, in terms of relationship. So when Mars is associated with specific houses, it can give Mangalic aspect or it can give you very high energy. I will not say that Mars in Lagna will also be a Mangalic, but it will give you some energies in terms of relationship. You like to get cozy with somebody, right? So that physical intimacy, desire will come to your head. But let me tell you, this is going to be a challenge. This is going to be a challenge. This is an area where you will be at, or rather, you'll be in a complete dilemma. Shall you go towards this aspect of life or not? My recommendation, try to avoid. Mars itself is not very supportive of physical intimacy aspects of life. It rather promotes celibacy. Okay? All right. Now still, if you really want to understand and how to judge the situations, let me tell you the timeline. The testing time in terms of relationship, it will be 2nd week of August and 1st week of September. So 2nd week of August and 1st week of September, you have to avoid getting into such dilemma at all. And what is the excellent time for relationship? That's 1st week of August and 2nd week of September. That's where, if at all you want to get into this aspect of life, you can get into it. Now you know the right period where Mars has go ahead for you. Okay? All right. So in terms of ensuring that you are able to enjoy all these things, you also need to take care of your health as well, because 8th Lord is also in touch with your Lagna. Health should take some sort of priority now. Otherwise, some disease can also knock at your door. So rather than disease coming and knocking at your door, you being proactive. See, hope is not a strategy. We cannot be reliant on hope. When it come or it will not come, I'm hopeful. No, let us take actions. Now you know that your strategy is about lifestyle changes. Why not to take an proactive action now, using that strategy, revolving around each aspect of life, including health, and be proactive towards our health, physical fitness, and mental fitness. Okay? Now, if you want to ward off this sort of malefic aspect of Mars in different areas of life, other than money, for that you can use that Vedic remedy through the other video. But otherwise, you need to worship Sri Ram. If you do that, you will be able to sail through this aspect very amicably. Okay? Let us move to Libra Ascendant. All right. So my Libra Ascendant friend, what's the strategy? If hope is not a strategy, which area of your life you need to activate your sports mode on? For you, my friend, this is a very, very nice area. Mars is giving you a good focus in the area of relationship. So through this aspect of your life, through getting into some relationship aspect, in other words, you have to, now you know that this is an area supported by Mars. You need to utilize this knowledge and put this aspect as a central point and revolve. Let other aspect of your life revolve around this central pivotal point. So relationship, when you're getting into relationship with different people, at home front, at work front, different areas of life, you will find that you are able to get things done. Because this is an area around which you are able to chalk out your strategy. And you're not reliant on hope. You're reliant on actions. You're putting in effort to build more relationships with the backing of Mars. Okay? Now, you also need to keep in mind that Libra is second house from Virgo. You have Mars sitting in your 12th house. So it is also going to activate your Mangalic energy to some extent. Mars in 12th house from your Lagna. Now that is a bit tricky. Though at a strategic level, Mars is supporting you with the relationship aspect. But when Mars is hitting itself in the 12th house, the balance can get distorted, really distorted. Your thoughts can get into different tangent altogether in the 12th house aspect tangents. So to ward it off, if you get the visibility of some timeline, so what is the testing times in terms of relationship? That will be second week of August and first week of September. So do not get yourself tested. Stay away from such a dilemma of 12th house. And what is the excellent time? That will be first week of August and second week of September. That's where you can get full throttle. You can do whatever you like to do, whatever you feel like doing. But always keep in mind, it is good that you have the support of Mars in this aspect of life and you now know the good time. Still, it is good to keep yourself away from the malefic thoughts and logic and aspects of Mars. Try to be as away from that aspect. All right. Moving forward, you will also feel that somehow your spending is going to be on the higher side. You're really on the higher side. And that will make you feel that whatever money you had or you have is going to be evaporated very, very fast. Where the money is going. You have to really keep a tab on your spend. And also you will feel that why it is happening. Is there somebody plotting against you? There can be some secrecy around it. 12th house is really going to be active. Maybe there is some secret enmity around it. You're going to spend on 12th house activities a lot. You need to be vigilant about it. Otherwise, money can also get into evaporated zone very, very fast. Okay. Now, at the same time, you will also feel that while money is getting evaporated, the inflow of money is also not that stable and strengthened. Right? Somehow that secrecy or some enmity will also feel you, okay, I don't like to be with friends. Nobody is mine. They're not supportive. They're backstabbers. Such thoughts will come to your head. At this juncture, I will strongly recommend you to resort to Vedic ways and let the energies be activated for you, which can give you much more money in the nicest possible way and cut through this problem of Mars. How you can do that? Simple. Go and watch that video, how to make more money. I posted a couple of days back. The thing is, that is Vedic remedy. That will reach to only a handful of people who are meant to receive it. But if you are able to receive that and activate that, it is nothing like it. No problem with money. It is rather going to go high in a Vedic way. All right. Now, why it is happening basically? Why it is happening? You see, my friend, for Libra people, it is a catch-22 situation. Who are the Marak? Second Lord and Seventh Lord. Second Lord is Mars. Seventh Lord again Aries, which is Mars. So for you, actually, it is a true Marak. Mars is second Lord, Mars is seventh. And now it is sitting in 12th house. Not a very, very nice position for Mars to be in at a broader level. That's why seventh is a relationship, second is money. You're going to feel this impact. That's why it is very important for you to that Vedic remedy for making money. Very, very important for you. I'll strongly recommend you rather. It is strong recommendation. And also you have to do another remedy so that you are able to get through with this period amicably. You have to worship Divine Mother in the best possible way. Whatever way you like, do that. You have to worship Divine Mother and do that Vedic remedy for money making. You are sorted. That was for my Libra ascendant friends. Let's move to Scorpio ascendant. So my friend, what's your strategy? If hope is not a strategy, then what's that? Where's the area? Which is the area where you need to activate your sports mode on? That is nothing but your capability to network around people. Your attitude rather, I'll say. Mars is going to support you with a very, very nice and positive and assertive attitude. It is like never say never, never say die attitude. Who's the next? You'll always be ready. Who's the next? And that attitude will help you win over people, your network, your capability to earn money. Everything will enhance. So this strategy, you're going to utilize this by putting it as a center point and then letting all the other areas of your life revolve around it, so that you are able to utilize the strategy in all the other aspects of your life and make advantage over there. Okay? Now, see, the interesting thing, you are going to also utilize your intelligence. Mars is going to bless you with nice thoughts, nice logics, nice intelligence to earn money, to build network. That is also there. Your Mind will be really super sharp during this period. Okay. And let me tell you, when I'm talking about networking, I mean, you will always have an upper hand. If somebody is trying to backstab, somebody trying to trick you, no, the person will not succeed. You will be the true victorious. That's a wonderful thing to know. Great thing to know. Okay. Why? Because of your intelligence, your capabilities, your superior powers. As simple as that. Okay. Now, see, Mars, though it is your Lagna Lord, still it is natural malefic. It is going to cause problems in specific areas, and for you it will be in the area of work. You're going to face the heat. Now, if I give you some visibility of the timeline, that can help you, isn't it? So the testing time in your work area, it will be second week of August. So avoid taking any major decisions during that period. Now you know that. How nice. And what is the excellent time for you in area of work? Now that will be second half of August till first half of September. Amazing. So you can utilize this knowledge and make all the important decisions pertaining to work during this window. Your interaction with your supervisors regarding your career progression, your strategy to outpower your competition in terms of business, rolling out a new product launch. You use this knowledge. Okay. But yes, as I mentioned, Mars is a natural malefic. It is going to cause problems in your work. You know the timeline, that's great. But to safeguard yourself and ensure there's no interruption from this malefic energies, rather you activate the positive and benefic energies, the Vedic energies, to earn more money. Go and watch my video, How to Make More Money. A fantastic Vedic ways to activate the energies for you to earn more money. But remember, Vedic energies get activated only for people who are meant to receive this. Alright? Okay. Now moving forward. In terms of relationship, you like to ignite the fire of relationships. That kind of feeling, that kind of combinations are there. But it is Mars which does not support relationship as a natural level. So if you're aware about the timelines, that can be helpful. You can use the timelines to your advantage. So the testing time for relationship, it'll be second week of August and first week of September. So then do not get into that territory at all. Otherwise, Mars will not support you. It can give you experience in relationship which can be a bit violent, which can be unforgiving. You will not like to repeat. In physical intimacy, it can give you not a very pleasing experience. You understand? Excellent time for relationship. Now, first week of August and second week of September, use this for relationships and see how nice experience you will have. Okay? All right. Now, it is important. It is important the way the Mars is positioned in your 11th house. And considering it is not on your Lagna Lord, it is also your 6th Lord. The positioning and couple of other aspects, the other combinations, I will recommend you, rather strongly recommend you to worship Shiva during this period. That will help you to stay focused on your path in the nicest possible way. That was for my Scorpio ascendant, friends. Let's move forward to Sagittarius ascendant. Now, my friend, how is the strategy? If hope is not the strategy, then what's the strategy? What is the area where you need to activate your sports mode? For you, my friend, that area is your risk-taking abilities. Mars is really going to give you a lot of support in that aspect of life. That's a wonderful aspect of life. That can turn the tables completely. Right? So this, when I'm using the word strategy, I'm mindful that, see, you are going to use this as a pivotal strategy, your risk-taking capabilities, and the other aspects of life will revolve around this strategy. So you are able to utilize this in different domains of life. Okay? So for example, in your work sphere, now if you're in business, that makes really explicit. You are thinking twice, shall I take the risk or not? Go for it. While for my Sagittarius friend, on one hand, Mars is in Digbal, 10th house from your Lagna. It is giving you a lot of directional strength in work sphere. I am telling you in a subtle Jyotish technique that your risk-taking capabilities are going to be blessed by Mars. Now you can actually go full throttle and take a lot of risks. This is the beauty and this is the magic of Jyotish. Right? You are in job. Oh, shall I change my stream or not? Why not? You can take risk now. You're going to be supported. You are entrusted with expanded responsibility. You're thinking, will it support me? Will it favor me? It will. Take the risk. You want to change job. You are not sure whether at the new job you're going to get a favorable situation or not. You will. This is the time. Your risk-taking capabilities are going to give you positive outcome. Go for it. Okay. Now, on top of it, I'll tell you the timeline, the testing timeline at your workspace, second week of August. Now, don't take risk during this period specifically. That's where the Mars will not be that supportive. See, this is the additional layer. Things cannot be constant throughout this 47 days of Mars transit. Right? There are peaks and troughs. Excellent time for work. Second half of August till first half of September. Wow, such a long time. My friend, this is the time I recommend you and urge you to make best possible use. You want to start something new at a commercial platform, blogging, vlogging, go for it. Do it. This is the time for you to go for it. Okay. Now, let me tell you another thing. I've been talking about risk all the time. How about stock market and speculation? Yes, my friend. This is the time. Why not? But again, disclaimer. Use your own judgment, intelligence. You are the decider of your own destiny. Remember? Now, caution. Caution. See, what is Mars? Mars is your 12th lord. It is in 10th house. 12th lord is losses also. That's why I'm giving you big caution. You risk-taking capabilities are supported. Absolutely. There's no denying. But with this subtle combination, there can be losses also. Two things. One, you should not be worried about losses in the first place. It is risk-taking. But you should be really thorough with your research and then take a move, then make a move. You cannot be blindfolded. Right? Hope is not a strategy. You need to take actions, study, make decisions, thoughtful decisions. But what is the benefit of Jyotish and how you will take a decision? I am telling, take a risk, then I'm telling you will incur losses. You are in dilemma. What to do, man? That's where, if you activate your Vedic energies, then you will cut through with this 12th lord and 10th house negative energies. How to do that? Go and watch how to make more money video. I put a couple of days back. The thing is, that's Vedic remedy. It reaches only to a handful of people. It is meant to reach. But if it reaches you, if you activate that energy in your favor, then this 12th lord and 10th house will have no say. That's a Vedic remedy. Now, one challenge which this Mars transit can actually put you through is that the religion, the spirituality, that aspect of your life can take a backseat. Now, the beauty, if you're going to activate that money-making remedy in a Vedic way, that also will link you with this aspect of life. So that has a double benefit. Okay? And also now, if I move forward to the area of relationship, I'll tell you that you are going to ignite this flame quite high and quite strongly. And let me tell you one more thing. If you are going to activate this, right? If you are getting close to somebody, it will be physical intimacy perspective. The perspective or the intent will be physical intimacy. It will be infatuation, to put it in a different way. Infatuation. But that infatuation will actually can get to the bed also. So be mindful. And at this juncture, let me tell you the timeline. The testing time for relationship would be second week of August and first week of September. When you know that this can be a testing period, then do not try to mix things. Stay away from this aspect of life. Otherwise, it can backfire. Mars being a malefic planet, right? And what is the excellent time for relationship? That will be first week of September. First week of August and second week of September. So use that period in the area of relationship to feel happy, to get what you are looking for. Okay, that was for Sagittarius ascendant. Let us move to Capricorn ascendant. So my friend, what's the strategy? If hope is not a strategy, which area of life you need to activate your sports mode? See, if you have been willing or planning to get into the area of property, buy some dream home, invest, buy or sell, this is the area where Mars is supporting you. So this can be the pivotal area. This will take off your time, and that's where you are getting good support. And Mars is also one of the significators of property, land and building, specifically land. So you have good support. So then make best possible use of it. Okay. Now, and you intend to make money out of it by investing in property or by selling or buying, right? But remember, Mars for Capricorn ascendant person is a Badhakesh, 11th lord, right? It will not get it very easy for you. It will not be very easy for you. So then how to ensure that you are not messed up with the negative aspect of Mars energy as a natural malefic or as a Badhakesh energy and earn money in the nice way? Very easy. You actually watch the video how to make more money, activate the Vedic ways of, or activate that energy in the most Vedic ways. So that will help you to ward off this malefic aspect of Mars and help you to make more money. While Mars is supporting you in the area of properties, but because its malefic aspect is the Badhak aspect, specifically in your case can bother, that aspect will go away with that Vedic activation. Right? Okay, let's move forward. What is the aha moment for my Capricorn ascendant friend? That spirituality, that desire, that will be with you. Even in the Mars transit, that's a wonderful aha moment for me. Right? And your focus will again continue to be on the learning, getting knowledge. And that is a great thing. Go for it. I mean, that will really make you very, very fortunate in this aspect. You are close to spirituality. It is a good sign of being fortunate. Okay. Now, challenges. Now, this is very, very interesting. So, you may be tempted to make or go for some lifestyle changes, but that will not be easy. One of the easiest way when it comes to changes, I always look for Jyotish, because Jyotish is that subtle aspect which helps you or support you for changes. It gives you hope, but hope is not a strategy. So we need to be action oriented. We need to be mindful that yes, we are closer to spirituality, make best possible use of our spiritual endeavor and get support at a mental level for these changes. Wonderful. That itself is the remedy. When somebody is doing mantras and thoughts are nice, in the nice direction, somebody is like forgiving in nature, regardless of how so bad somebody might have done to you, told you or done to you in different aspects, still you're forgiving. That is the best gift you can give to yourself. Forgive others. And that's what you're going to do this time. This is a very, very nice aspect which Mars has bestowed you with. Though Mars is very violent in nature. You know that? Aggressive, violent. But it is making you forgiving. Wow. So nice, so wonderful. Now, in terms of relationship, right, though you will be forgiving, but there will be a time, testing time for relationship, and that testing time will be second week of August and first week of September. Be mindful. And the excellent time for relationship would be first week of August and second week of September. Now, to pass through this period amicably, it will be good if you worship Lord Shiva during the transit of Mars. That was for Capricorn ascendant. Let us move forward to Aquarius ascendant. Okay. Now, what's the strategy, my friend? If hope is not a strategy, what is the area of life where you need to activate your sports mode on? So my Aquarius friend, for you, the strategy revolves around your ideas. Mars also signifies logic. Now it is going to gift you lot of logical capabilities, and which will help you with come up lot of ideas, and that you can use as a strategy around which all the other aspects of life can revolve, and you can make benefit out of those aspects of life. How wonderful. Okay, so see, let us look at the other aspect. For Aquarius ascendant person, Mars will be sitting in the 8th house in Virgo. Not one of the finest placements for Mars to be in. At one end, it says it can also activate the Manglik energy. Even otherwise, not one of the finest places. You agree? All right. So that's where the relationship are going to be tested, that aspect of life. The testing time for relationship will be 2nd week of August and 1st week of September. So you avoid getting physical proximity. Because if you get into physical proximity, the experience can be a bit violent, can be a bit painful, not be a very happy experience. If you want to have a happy experience in the area of relationship, then the excellent time will be 1st week of August and 2nd week of September. Now you know that. How nice. Now, Mars being a natural malefic planet, that is point number 1. And the placement is also not very congenial, as I explained briefly. So it can also bring some challenges. Some challenges not only in terms of relationship, but also in terms of your business. You're dealing with business people, you're dealing with people in general, with masses. That area can also take a hit. Okay. And specifically, it can push you to do some menial jobs. You understand menial jobs? Some small jobs. That can also get activated with this kind of placements. All right. Then, if I give you some visibility, what is the testing time in your work area? That can be helpful. So the testing time in work area is going to be 2nd week of August. So that is a period where you don't like to take risk, don't like to get into confrontation with your supervisors, with your bosses, with your customers, clients, partners. Stay away from confrontation. Try to not burn the bridges. And the excellent time for work sphere, it will be 2nd half of August till 1st half of September. Then use best possible time, make best possible use of that period and improve the relationship in work. Nice. Now, on top of that, because things are not going to be easy, timeline is fine, but you need some strength which can help you to streamline the work aspect and make you earn more money. If you want to activate some Vedic energies in your favor in the area of money, then you can watch the other video of mine, which I put a couple of days back, how to make more money. Vedic ways to activate your energies to earn more money. But remember, Vedic ways reach out to people who are meant to receive it. I always call it out. All right? Okay. In addition to that, that is only going to help you for money. You also need to pass through this period amicably in terms of relationship. Remember that Mangal energy is going to get activated. So for that, to ward it off, you are required to worship the Divine Mother. If you do that, things will be easy for you. All right? That was for Aquarius ascendant. Let us move to Pisces ascendant. So my friend, what's the strategy? If hope is not a strategy, in which area of your life you are going to activate your sports mode on? So for you, it is very interesting and fascinating that Mars is helping you in the area of money making. That's wonderful. So you will get that tactics, that skill, that knowledge, that understanding, that logic, which will help you make more money. Mars is going to give you that support, that gift. Very specific. All right. Now, you remember Pisces Lagna, friend. Second Lord is Mars. It is in 7th house. It is Sri Manta Yoga. It is. But the activation for you, keeping in mind a couple of other things, this is not going to favor you directly. No, it is not going to favor you directly. You need to activate this. Otherwise, it will not get activated on its own. No way. And why? Okay, let me tell you one thing. Easy thing. See, Mars is your Marak. Second Lord and 7th Lord are your Marak. It is second Lord. And sitting in your 7th house as an MKS, Maranikaraka Sthana. It is not going to activate that Srimanta Yoga for you that amicably. On top of it, it is a Mars malefic planet. Had it been a benefic planet, that Srimanta Yoga takes a different color altogether. So you need some support, some Vedic support to activate it in your favor. Right? Go and watch my other video, which I put a couple of days back, how to make more money. The moment you activate that energy in your favor, no problem with this malefic aspect of Mars being in 7th house, being second lord, no problem. The thing is that Vedic remedy reaches only to people who are meant to receive it. All right? Okay. Now, in terms of relationship, that's again, Mars being in 7th house or in MKS is going to give you a lot of experiences in that regard. You know that, right? So, I'll tell you some timeline. Testing time for relationship. That will be 2nd week of August and 1st week of September. Now, this is a time where you need to safeguard yourself. Don't get into any emotional bondages. Otherwise, the experience can be a bit violent, aggressive. It will not be a congenial, happy experience. If you want to experience something good in terms of relationship, then go to the timeline of 1st week of August and 2nd week of September. No problem. All right. Okay, let's move forward. Now, a Jyotish tip. It is a good time for you to get married. Obviously, you need to look at your horoscope, evaluate. But at a generic level, it is a good time. Now, one more thing. Mars from Virgo is aspecting your 10th house, Sagittarius, by his 4th drishti. Mars is a malefic, remember? So some fire can be at your workplace. Let me also give you some timeline in this aspect as well. Testing time at your workplace would be 2nd week of August. Then do not get into any major discussion with your supervisor, with your partners, colleagues or clients. It is going to backfire for you, not work in your favor. It will have the Mars discussion, colors, aggressive confrontation. Rather, you would use the excellent period. And what's that? That will be 2nd half of August till 1st half of September. Fantastic. The discussion will be nice despite Mars aspecting your 10th house. That is the magic of Jyotish. Okay. Now, aha factor for my Pisces ascendant friends. Regardless of the adversities or the enmity around you, you are going to win. The victory will be with you. You will have that kind of capability bestowed by Mars that you will be standing out among all others. So with this, I'll end up my Pisces ascendant portion as well and I put an end to the video. I'll see you soon in some other video. Till then, Om Namah Shivaya.